Breaking news for Cowboys fans today as Jadeveon Clowney makes his way to Dallas for a visit that could have significant implications for the team's defensive plans. This isn't just a casual stop. It's a deliberate step to evaluate whether Clowney could fit into a roster that has been searching for additional edge rush talent since the early part of the season. The Cowboys have made it clear over the past few years that they value talent acquisition as a year-round business. And bringing in someone like Clowney shows that the front office is actively exploring ways to improve their pass rush and overall defensive presence. The visit itself is technically different from a workout, meaning it's not necessarily about immediate performance, but rather assessing fit, physical readiness, and potential role within the team. Even at this stage, it sends a message. Dallas is interested in adding one of the best available free agents left on the market, and Clowney represents exactly that. Jadeveon Clowney's career has been marked by both remarkable athleticism and some periods of inconsistency. His sack totals have fluctuated over the years, and last season with Carolina saw a dip, but it's important to remember that sacks are only one part of his value. Clowney has consistently shown he can anchor against the run, something that often goes underappreciated in discussions about edge rushers. He is not just a situational pass rusher. He is a three-down defensive lineman who can make an impact across multiple facets of the game. In a league where versatile defenders are increasingly rare, a player like Clowney provides both depth and flexibility, allowing a defensive coordinator to rotate personnel while maintaining quality on the field. Even though he may not reach the double-digit sack benchmarks that elite edge rushers often achieve, his ability to disrupt plays and hold the line against the run remains significant. The Cowboys have had their challenges in the early part of the season, particularly when it comes to consistently pressuring the quarterback. In games like the matchup against Philadelphia, the pressure rate was not as high as they would have liked, and opponents were able to find rhythm in the pocket without facing relentless disruption. Adding someone like Clowney, even at this stage of the season, could provide a valuable boost. He brings experience, size, and a level of athleticism that allows him to contribute immediately. At 32 years old, he may no longer be the lightning-quick player who could dominate every snap, but his knowledge of the game, ability to read offensive schemes, and physical presence on the line are all assets that the Cowboys can utilize. Realistically, if he contributes 6 sacks over the course of the season, that would already represent a highly positive outcome for the team, particularly when paired with solid run defense and the leadership he can bring to the locker room. Clowney's potential fit within Dallas's defensive scheme is intriguing. The team has some young pieces who have shown promise, but depth at the edge position has been a lingering concern. Players like Dante Fowler have shown situational value, particularly as rotational pass rushers, but they haven't consistently demonstrated dominance against the run. Others, like Mars Hahn, provide rotational support but are not primary disruptors. Clowney's presence could fill that gap, offering a dependable rotational edge who can contribute on all downs. Additionally, there's a mentorship aspect. Clowney has years of experience navigating different defensive systems, and his presence could help younger players understand nuances of positioning, timing, and reading offenses. For a team trying to balance developing young talent with maintaining competitiveness in the present, a player like Clowney can be both a contributor and a teacher. Financially, the situation is more nuanced. Clowney has always sought fair compensation for his talents, and the Cowboys have historically leaned toward veteran minimum deals when adding players later in the season. Negotiations could center around short-term, team-friendly contracts that provide flexibility for both sides. While money is always a factor, the potential on-field value and the impact on defensive performance might outweigh cost concerns. Even a one-year deal could make sense if it allows Dallas to strengthen the rotation, improve pressure rates, and bolster run defense, all while giving younger players a veteran presence to learn from. Clowney's history shows he can adapt to new teams, and despite occasional controversies or disagreements in prior stops, his ability to perform consistently as a run-stopping edge rusher remains his most reliable attribute. Clowney is not perfect, and like many players who have had long careers in the NFL, he comes with some baggage. His tenure with teams like the Browns ended contentiously at times, but subsequent stints with the Ravens and Panthers indicate that he has continued to contribute effectively without major issues. The key takeaway is that Clowney brings a combination of size, athleticism, and versatility that is rare for someone available at this point in the season. He may not be a game-breaking, elite-edge superstar, but he is a proven player who can immediately improve a defensive unit that has shown glimpses of potential but also has room for growth. The Cowboys' willingness to explore this option suggests a front office that is committed to finding solutions rather than simply hoping young players develop on their own. From a strategic standpoint, adding Clowney also signals that the Cowboys are not content with a static approach to roster construction. After trading away key pieces like Micah Parsons, there's been a need to identify alternatives that can fill both production and leadership gaps. Clowney's ability to stop the run, apply pressure to quarterbacks, and rotate effectively as part of a larger defensive front makes him a compelling target. His presence could shift the dynamics of the edge rotation, potentially changing how opposing offenses plan their games. By bringing him in now, Dallas has the chance to evaluate not only his physical capabilities, but also how he interacts with the existing roster, including young players who may benefit from his guidance. This type of proactive talent management is exactly what you want to see from a team aiming to remain competitive while building for the future. Even in a rotational role, Clowney's impact should not be underestimated. Defensive ends who can reliably stop the run while still generating pressure are hard to come by, and his experience gives him a level of consistency that younger, less tested players may not yet have. By incorporating him into the rotation, Dallas can ensure fresh legs on the field, varied looks against opposing offensive lines, and a more dynamic defensive front overall. Players like James Houston might see their roles adjusted, but the overall effect should be positive, creating a system where each edge rusher is positioned to maximize both personal and team performance. For a team looking to balance immediate competitiveness with the development of younger talent, Clowney provides both practical and intangible benefits. Beyond the numbers, Clowney represents a statement. The Cowboys are sending a message that they are committed to exploring every avenue to improve, that they are not afraid to add veteran experience when it complements their existing roster. It's about more than sacks or tackles. It's about culture, leadership, and the ability to elevate the group around him. At this point in his career, Clowney has seen a lot of football, and his perspective can be invaluable in a locker room that includes a mix of youth and experience. The visit itself, even before any contract is agreed upon, shows that the Cowboys are actively engaging with the top talent still available and are serious about making moves that can positively influence their season. Looking deeper at Clowney's potential role with the Cowboys, it becomes clear that his impact extends beyond just individual statistics. In today's NFL, defensive schemes are increasingly complex, and the ability to rotate players without losing effectiveness is crucial. Clowney's versatility allows Dallas to maintain a consistent defensive presence across all downs, rather than relying solely on situational pass rushers. This kind of flexibility can be the difference between a defense that looks solid on paper and one that actually disrupts offenses consistently. Against teams that use heavy formations or run-heavy schemes, having a player capable of plugging gaps and holding the line becomes invaluable. Clowney may not dominate every snap, but his capacity to stabilize the defensive front while still applying pressure creates a ripple effect, giving linebackers and secondary players more room to operate and make plays. Another factor to consider is Clowney's experience in high-pressure situations. He has faced some of the league's best quarterbacks, both in passing and running situations, and he understands how to adjust his approach based on the tendencies of the offense. That kind of football intelligence cannot be overstated. Young edge rushers often struggle when defenses require quick adaptation mid-game. But a player like Clowney brings not only his physical tools but also the mental aspect of the game. His presence can accelerate the learning curve for younger players, helping them understand gap assignments, timing for pass rush moves, and even how to read blocking schemes before the snap. In a league where one mental misstep can cost a game, that knowledge transfer is almost as valuable as the sacks or tackles he produces. Clowney's history of team transitions also highlights his adaptability. Over the years, he has moved between multiple franchises, learning different defensive philosophies and adjusting to new coaching staffs and teammates. This adaptability is particularly relevant for a Cowboys team that may be experimenting with rotational strategies along the defensive line. Integrating a veteran who has successfully navigated change allows the coaching staff to implement different schemes without worrying about breakdowns in communication or effort. Clowney has shown that he can enter a locker room mid-season, understand the system quickly, and contribute immediately. That reliability is something Dallas can leverage, particularly as the season progresses and the physical toll of games begins to challenge the depth of the roster. The psychological and leadership dimensions of Clowney's presence are equally noteworthy. Locker room dynamics in football are complex, and the addition of a seasoned player can stabilize and energize a group. Clowney has experienced both highs and lows in his career, including moments of controversy, but he has also demonstrated resilience and professionalism when given the right environment. For a Cowboys roster featuring several younger players who are still finding their footing in the league, having a veteran presence provides a model for preparation, focus, and consistency. Even if he doesn't make a game-winning play every week, his approach to practice, film study, and game day preparation sets a tone that can elevate everyone around him. Leadership in football isn't always about speeches or accolades. It's often about the quiet, consistent example a player sets, and Clowney can deliver that. On the field, Clowney's unique combination of size, strength, and agility allows him to operate effectively both against the run and as a pass rusher. While he may not reach the elite sack total some fans hope for, he is exceptionally skilled at disrupting offensive timing. Quarterbacks are often forced to make hurried decisions because of his presence, and even when he doesn't record a sack, his ability to collapse pockets or force adjustments can change the outcome of plays. Additionally, his capacity to play multiple positions along the defensive front means the Cowboys can disguise looks, creating confusion for opposing offenses. The strategic advantage of a player who can shift between roles seamlessly cannot be overstated, especially in critical late-game situations where matchups and angles determine the success of a play. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In a move that has sent shockwaves across the NFL and left fans buzzing from coast to coast, the Dallas Cowboys reportedly made waves this week with what some are already calling the most eyebrow-raising roster move of the season. Sources close to the organization hint that the Cowboys are in serious talks to bring over Washington Commanders' standout wide receiver, the British-born sensation Terry McLaurin. McLaurin, whose speed and route running have consistently made him a top target in Washington's offense, has been at the center of trade speculation for months. Rumors had previously swirled about potential interest from teams looking to bolster their receiving core, but few could have predicted that the Cowboys, America's most scrutinized franchise, would be in the mix. Insiders suggest that Dallas sees McLaurin as the missing piece to rejuvenate an offense that has flirted with greatness but often fallen short in clutch moments. The British connection adds an intriguing twist to the speculation. McLaurin, though raised in the United States, has often been highlighted as one of the few NFL stars with strong ties to the UK, making him a unique addition to a team known for high-profile acquisitions. Analysts and fans alike are already imagining what the pairing could mean. A Cowboys offense with McLaurin stretching defenses downfield, pairing with CeeDee Lamb in what could be one of the league's most dynamic receiving duos. The timing of the potential move has only fueled the rumor mill. Sources claim negotiations are in the early stages, with both teams reportedly keeping details tightly under wraps. Meanwhile, social media is ablaze, with Cowboys fans speculating on how McLaurin would fit into Mike McCarthy's scheme, while Commanders supporters express concern over losing their star in a potential blockbuster trade. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the very idea of McLaurin in silver and blue has ignited conversations in every NFL newsroom and fan forum. If this rumor proves true, it would not only represent a major shakeup for the NFC East, but could also signal a new era of ambitious moves for a Cowboys team hungry for another Super Bowl run. For now, all eyes remain on Dallas, as fans eagerly wait to see if one of the league's brightest stars is truly headed to Texas, or if this is simply the latest sizzling story to dominate the off-season chatter. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.